Hello, welcome back with Talk with Terry Tuesday. We are excited to see you, hear from you. Valentine's Day is tomorrow, so if you haven't gotten your sweetheart their gift, go out today or just give them a big hug and a big kiss. I have on my red lipstick today for Valentine's Day. Um, my niece will be here. She actually has the line of lipsticks that it doesn't come off. Well, wipe it off, it doesn't come off. But she'll be here for our anniversary, so you'll get to see her as well. But happy Valentine's Day, you guys. Now, it's been nice outside, and so, people are starting to shed clothes. We had a lot of feedback from our last one about body sculpting. And one of the biggest things that people were asking about is weight loss. So that's going to be our subject for today. But before we get started, we'll do a little bit of housekeeping. We are excited for our 8th anniversary that's going to be coming up on March 23rd. It will be from 11 to 4 p.m. That's a Saturday. So we want you to come out. There'll be prizes, there'll be games, there'll be food. It's just going to be a fun time. Special discounts, raffles. So we're excited. We are moving on and upward and forward, and we're excited about everything that we're doing, everything that's coming. So bring your friends, grab them, and just come out and enjoy with us. So that's going to be March 23rd from 11 to 4. Um, we are really trying to promote health and wellness. It's a big deal. It's a big thing. Oprah's been on the news and in the spotlight about, what she's been using, Kim Kardashian. Um, so lots of people are talking about the injections. Lots of people are talking about the weight loss. What I'm going to talk about today is the pluses and minuses of all the things that are available. And bottom line, no matter what it is that you are using, that can be phentermine, which is the pills, it could be the injections, you have to change your lifestyle. There is no getting around it. Yes, we think the injections are a magic pill. They are not the magic that we think they are, and sometimes people are using them incorrectly. So I want you to be safe if you're doing it. Yes, we do it. We'll go through everything today so you know our process. But ultimately, wherever you're going, your goal should be a lifestyle change, and that includes more than just the injections. So let's get started. What's the big rave? The big rave is everybody's heard about. Okay, so there's two actual injections that have been used and that are approved by the FDA for weight loss. One is, so there's a family of them. So Ozempic is the medication for diabetes. Wegovy is the medication for weight loss, and semaglutide is the generic of it. That's one group that they're called uh, GL1P injections. There is another group that recently got approved for weight loss. It is Mounjaro, which is approved for diabetes. There is the Zepbound, which is approved for weight loss. And then there's tirzepatide, which is generic. So those are the two injections that everybody's talking about. I think Kim Kardashian did the Ozempic or Wegovy. I think Oprah did the Mounjaro or Zepbound. So Zepbound or the Mounjaro actually has two receptors that they cover. So people tend to lose a little bit more weight with that one than they do with the Ozempic slash Wegovy, because they're in similar families. So one thing I tell people, there are oral medications, there are medications that actually have phentermine by itself. There's phentermine with another combination of medications. There's something called Contrave, there's something called Simia, there's some other oral medications that are more appetite suppressants. Then there are these injections, the GLP injections and the G1P, which is also what Manjaro has. It's just the receptors that they actually cover. How they work is they actually work by slowing the process of your food being digested, which makes you feel full faster and you don't continue to eat, which sends signals to your brain, which makes you not even feel hungry. So it decreases your appetite. However, if you get these injections, you still shouldn't be going to eating a lot of fast food, a lot of fried foods, because once you're no longer on the injections, that weight is coming back if you have not changed your lifestyle. So what I really want people to understand is that the medications are to be used as a tool and to actually help you lose the weight. But that includes dietary changes, which is about 70% of weight loss. Exercising, which actually improves your muscle mass, your stamina, your strength, your ability to like go from sitting, all of those things have to be included in it. Sleeping is another part of the weight loss. Managing your stress is another part of weight loss. I have everybody taking vitamin D. I encourage B12. All of those things, it is a total lifestyle change. Now, I know people have been hearing things in the news as far as people have been having a lot of side effects, been having a lot of problems. So, one of the things when you are losing weight like this, you have to make sure you are increasing your protein intake because then you're losing the ability for muscle mass if you've lost a lot of protein. And so now you've lost weight, but now you got skin just hanging all over you without adding those other things. You got to add the protein. You should be adding exercising to help make sure you're maintaining your muscle mass. The other thing is, I've had some people who have told me that they've just stopped eating. Well, that's not a good idea because now you are starving your body and your body system will start, if you're not fueling it, it will shut down. So some people have had problems with their gut and how it's functioning because they hadn't been eating for long periods of time. This medication is not to be used for you not to eat. It's that you have to change what you are eating. I mean, we have different apps that we have that are free for people to use. One is Carb Manager. It's a keto app. However, you can change the settings so that you know exactly what it is your intake is. One of the things I tell people, carbs and sugar are inflammatory. We're eating way more carbs than what we probably should be. And people think, well, I'm not eating cookies and pies and cakes, but you're eating a lot of chips and bread and potatoes and all of those things are really high in carbs. Well, okay, well, then I'll go to fruit. Well, fruit is not horrible for you, but it is a natural sugar. So, how weight loss ultimately works, you have to use and burn more calories than you consume. So, if your body's first source of fuel is going to be carbs. So, if you're eating 2,000 carbs a day, but your body only needs 500. Well, I'll let you do the math. But what that starts to turn into is your body starts to store the rest of that because it doesn't need it. So it's going to hold on to it. So you have to kind of know what's in the food that you are eating. So a lot of people will say, well, I'm eating melons, I'm eating mangoes, and I'm not saying you shouldn't eat it, but you need to know how many carbs and sugar are in a serving. And what's a serving? Well, you need to look at the actual container and it will tell you what a serving is because most of the time we aren't doing one serving. For instance, how many of us are really doing 4 ounces of orange juice? Because for most of them, that's what a serving is. You fill your glass up. And that's just how most of us were raised. When we go to restaurants, we're eating way more portions and servings than what we are used to. And this is just, unfortunately, how it is in America. We eat way more than what we actually need. I'm not a stickler for, I'm going to tell you, you can't have this, you can't have that. I'm not saying you can't have it. I'm saying know what's in it, what a serving is, how many carbs there are, and then make a decision. So that's one of my biggest mottos with these medications. The medications will work. One thing I tell people about the injections, because a lot of people said, I was somewhere else and I took that medication and I was so nauseated. Well, if you were doing a lot of carbs and sugar, you will be more nauseated. That is one of the side effects. Some of the other side effects is constipation. So if you don't have fiber in your diet, or you're not having things that will make you go to the bathroom on a regular basis, the higher the doses are for those medications, the higher the side effects, and constipation is another one of them. So it is understanding what you are taking, how you should be taking it, and what the purpose of the medication is. Because the purpose is to actually help you lose the weight. Because eh, in America, we are significantly overweight. And the higher your weight goes, the more medical problems you have. So, for a lot of people who have had cancer, for a lot of people who have diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, joint pain, reducing cardiovascular, so heart disease, reducing your weight and changing a lot of your diet actually affects your health. So, the diabetes starts to go away, high blood pressure starts to go away. The cholesterol is better. You feel better. You sleep better. All of those things makes a difference. When people come into the office, I'll have them hold what 5 pounds is. It actually is heavier than what most people think it is. And just imagine if you lose 20 pounds, what it's doing for your joints. As we're getting older, metabolism changes, all of those things change. But I just want people to make sure that when they're doing the medications, when they're using the injections, the pills, that they are doing them safely. They understand what the use of the medication is for and how it works and what your goal is. But ultimately, you have to be in a space where you are ready to change your lifestyle. You can't say you're ready to lose weight, but you have Hostess Twinkies in your cabinet. Because when you have that craving at midnight, you're going to the cabinet because the Hostess Twinkie is there. Been there, done it. I understand. So, one of the first things I tell people, clean out your house. Give it to somebody else who doesn't have the issues that we have, and you're starting new because you are going to have those cravings. If you get in your car and go get it, have it. Maybe have less of it. But if you are at that point where you need to have it like that, go get it. Don't deprive yourself of it, but do less of it. I'm not trying to deprive anyone of like all the joys in life, and that includes dining. But know what you're eating, know what's in it, cut it in half, cut it in a third. You still had it, just not as much. If you are a drinker, wine has a ton of sugar. Not saying you can't have it, saying you probably shouldn't have it every day if you're trying to lose weight. Dark liquor is higher in sugar. So there's lots of little tweaks. I'm not trying to destroy your life. I'm not trying to destroy your happiness. I want us to be healthier. And we have to, at some point, make some choices and decisions because those things, yeah, it feels great at the time, but you feel awful after if you eat a high carb, you're sluggish, you're sleepy, you're tired, your joints hurt more because carbs and sugar are inflammatory. So the goal of this podcast today was to really kind of make sure people understand what they're taking, why they're taking it, what are the side effects of it, how does it really work, what is the goal of it. Those things you should know. When you go to the grocery store, don't go hungry. Eat before you go because you'll be down all of those center aisles picking up a lot of stuff that ultimately is not going to be in your best interest. Try to stay on the outer edge. That's where all your produce is. That's where all your meats are. That's where all of your vegetables are. Corn is high in sugar, just a little FYI. It tastes great because it's high in sugar. so, so I'm not trying to bust anybody's bubble. I just want you to know the facts. Um, but once again, the app is free. It's called Carb Manager. It's free. Even if there's MyFitnessPal. There's several of them out there that don't cost you anything, but you're able to look up whatever it is that you're going to eat, and then you might make a different decision. Or if you don't make a different decision, maybe do less of what you were going to do to begin with. It's all about moderation. It's all about being intentional and knowing what you are putting into your body. Now, having said that, does anybody have questions?
No questions, Dr. Terry, but Dr. Apple from Florida says, "Hey, Doc," and she misses you.
Oh, hi, darling. I hope to see you soon.
What I will do, I will put into the comments later after this
Okay.
is over the apps that you mentioned as
Uh-huh.
well as the types of injections that you
Okay.
mentioned.
Yes. And then go to someone who understands what they're giving you. Because a lot of places are just giving medication and you're losing the weight, but you're losing it not properly. And once you stop the injection, all the weight that you just lost, if you haven't changed anything else, is going to come back. It's not a win. It's not an if. It's a win. It's a lifestyle change. And that ultimately is the goal for all of us is to actually have a lifestyle change and live a better life. Okay, I hope that was helpful. I hope that that kind of got rid of some misunderstandings, misconceptions. And if you're going to do the weight loss injections, to do them safely. Um, that's my time. So we'll see you next month, and hopefully, we will see you for our anniversary. Once again, it's March 23rd from 11 to 4 at Allure Laser Med Spa or Wellness Center. We are located in Tinley Park, so give us a call. If you have questions or you want to do a consultation, you can call us and we can get you booked for a consultation. But be well, be blessed, and be healthy. Okay, talk to you later.